Well, Collin, I'll tell you when I got here. I got here at 15 minutes ago, maybe.
Oh.
It's different when you don't have, like, we're doing this shit like guerrilla today. Like, I got little fuzzy things for the front, pop filters if you want. I have, I got rid of the other ones. They're over there. They don't travel well, so I'm trying to make this more like travel friendly.
They feel really delicate.
They do.
They're not really, but they feel like it.
No, they're delicate. Like, that'll be the fucking first thing that breaks out of all the shit. That'll be the first thing that breaks. 15 minutes, man.
This is weird without headphones.
It is weird without headphones. You want to put headphones on?
No, it's fine. Let's try it.
You sure?
Or are you weirded out by it?
No, I mean, I can barely hear because I have a sinus infection. So, like, the worst time I could probably not do headphones would be right now.
I don't care either.
No, fuck the headphones, dude. What are you drinking today, Collin?
Oh, yeah.
And why?
And why? Well, I guess we're sponsored by Pepsi. Got the bubbly.
Is bubbly Pepsi?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was really, I got the one that was 3 for $9 at the store, which sometimes it's Polar, sometimes it's bubbly, sometimes it's LaCroix.
Am I correct in saying you guys don't do much soda, right?
Nah, we don't keep it in the house. I mean, we'll get it like with pizza. Like I'll get like a 2-liter.
I fucking love
when we order pizza.
I love Cokes.
And
you see how I had to say I love Cokes? I put the S on it.
Yeah,
I
love Coke.
I love Coke. I'm a Coke head.
Cola. No, yeah, we just don't keep it in the house. I used to drink a lot of Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
Like
big gamer.
Like no. But
you did the
I know.
Dude, Brian,
Jesus
shout out to
Christ.
Brian. Yeah, no.
I don't keep it in the house. That's all. I try to keep my consumption of pop down. So
we do not. We just to feel better about ourselves, we switched to the Coke Zeros. And what's crazy is like there's always one store where they're on sale. It's like I either go to Kroger and get it like 3 for $11, or I go to Meijer and get the deal, or I get a Giant Eagle. Like you can go somewhere and get the deal. So anytime I need Cokes, shit's on sale. Sweet. You know what we didn't do? We didn't talk about this being episode 36. It's episode 36.
It's my golden episode.
Is that because it's your age?
I'm 36.
What do I always say? What did 2 Chainz teach me?
I don't remember.
Oh, come on. That's how many ounces?
Oh. Yeah, I don't remember the whole...
In a brick.
In a brick, okay.
Yeah. A brick of cocaine.
Oh, I feel like an idiot.
I said I'm a cokehead, right?
A cola.
A cola. But there's only 12 ounces in that.
So yes, I'm drinking this because we'll just say your boy's been hungover as fuck all day because I had a work holiday party last night and I got the fuck after it.
Dude, where did you? Okay, did you guys have it in house or did you go to like a location?
We had it at Strongwater.
Oh, cool.
In their event space.
Yeah.
Which is like behind the bar, or like the next door over. Mm. But no, it was a lot of fun. A lot of drinks were had. One point was really funny though. We had just got there, and I had a couple drinks at home in the afternoon. I was just chilling, and then I had one glass of whiskey when I got there, and then I don't know, 15 minutes later, we went back up to get a refill, and I got a beer, and Sierra was like, "You want to do a shot?" And I was like, "Okay." So we got a shot of Bullet, and they were big shots, man. I mean, it was big shots, and I don't know what it was, but man, I took that shot and it hit the back of my throat wrong, and trying to gulp that whole mouthful down, and I was within inches of puking all over the bar.
Really?
Not because of the alcohol. Yeah. Like not because I was drunk, but it just hit me wrong, and it was a lot more than I was expecting. And I literally had to go walk and step outside. Like I literally thought I was gonna throw up. I got the hot spits, and like I got like really
the hot where your mouth starts salivating. Wow,
that's kind of how I felt all day today.
Dude, you're kind of like you're grossing me out.
Sorry,
I won't lie.
But yeah, it was weird. But no. Sierra just yesterday bought this like pink fur jacket thing.
I saw that on the gram.
And I put it on to be funny, and then I had it on for like 2 hours at the party. No, just for fun. I took off my sport coat and put on that instead. It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
It's also funny because I was one of two people wearing a tie, and it's just funny because like I'm the one who like looks like this all the time at the office.
Yeah.
And it's like I was the one who was wearing a tie.
Right.
Not the owner of the company, not any of the big bosses. And it was just really funny because I've always done holiday parties like that. Dress it up.
I don't know if we talked about this on the last episode, but the exchange we had where you were like, "Are we podding tonight?" And I just said, "Drunk."
Yes.
I was like, "Holiday party. Tonight's a no-go," or something like that.
Well, it was because I texted you, and it was like 2:00. I texted you at like 2:00 in the afternoon, and
was it that early?
Yes, and then I followed up like 4 hours later.
Okay.
In Spanish. What night are we or what day are we potting or something like that in Spanish? And then you responded to me, it was another probably 45 minutes after that. And you were like, just all caps, "Drunk, tonight is a no-go."
Holiday parties will do that to you.
Yes, they will.
When you work hard, you look for these moments to just fucking cut loose. And that was one of them.
Yeah, I to be fair, I did get put on blast on the sleepiest dad today. But I fell asleep in the Uber on the way home, and I don't even remember ordering the Uber. That's how fucking blasted I was last night. So
responsible dad though, getting the Uber.
Oh, we Ubered there, so
yeah, planned ahead.
Yeah.
Now I saw that jacket you're talking about that your wife got. I actually, in the photo, I thought that her hair was like teased out. If you look at it, it looked like her hair was teased out, and I had to look real hard, and then I was like, oh, okay, I think that's a lapel or something fuzzy. Got it. Makes sense.
Yeah, it was fun. But I've been dragging ass all day today.
Well, I am doing a frou-frou drink.
What is it? I was trying to figure it out.
It's you can't tell what a GRBL CRM BRULAT is?
Nope. Creme brulee latte.
Yep. Grande blonde creme brulee latte. It has a different espresso in it, the blonde shots. It's pretty fucking good. It's a lot of calories.
Yeah.
It's weird to drink. I never really gave a fuck about calories, and then one day I gave a fuck, and now I at least acknowledge what's in there. And I acknowledge that there's a lot in here, and I try not to do them like every day. I stick to my like nitros and shit with no or 5 calories. This thing's too good though. Too good.
This morning when I might have still been drunk when I woke up this morning, and but shortly after I got up, Beatrice was like, "You said that we would get donuts today," and I was like, "Dang it!" So I went to the grocery store. I hadn't had any coffee yet, and
your Entenmann's?
Huh?
Did you get the Entenmann's?
No. We went, and like I got like from the bakery.
Okay.
And all that. We went all out, and but I got home, and Sierra asked me to make her a cup of coffee, and I opened the Keurig drawer, and there was only one K-cup left, so I made it for her. And then I was like, okay, I'll just make a pour over. And then the bag of coffee that I had was open, and it was like so stale. And I'm like hung over as fuck. And like I just came back from the grocery store. Oh man, I was furious. I was just like, you know what? I'm not even going back to the store. I'm going to go to Starbucks and I'm going to get a big cold brew.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, just made me think of that how it was ironic. I was just like so hungover, but then didn't have the one cure I needed.
There is so many times where like my wife will be home after I leave for work, and she'll have like an extra cup of coffee and stuff like that. Like she always reaps the benefits of like getting that extra coffee. And like every time I go in the morning to get coffee and there's only one left, every time it's her fault, because she knew the day before when she was having that extra cup that she was only leaving one. And I'm like, damn, could you just say something to me the day before so I could plan? There have been so many times where she's like, are you going to make coffee? I'm like, yeah. She's like, will you make me one too? And I get down there like, one. There's one fucking coffee. Like, what do you mean, will I make you one too? There's been times where like, I've just drank pre-workout. I just like get a scoop of pre-workout. I mean,
That's hilarious.
It's got 300, milligrams of caffeine. Like,
that's hilarious. I don't even know what that is. What pre-workout? What does that mean? I mean, obviously, I know.
I was gonna say, dissect it.
You do it before you work out, but what is it? How does it help you? I don't know anything about.
You don't know anything about it?
No.
Well, see, this is why you keep failing at the gym. Like, you're not utilizing your resources. So there are thousands of pre-workouts, right? But the common denominator between most of them is there's some type of stimulant like caffeine, a specific amount, and there's arguments forever about like what the right amount is. There's usually other things that help you, other like amino acids, creatine, if it's like a pre-workout that you're trying to swell up on them fools. You might get some with like caffeine to boost you, and some other shit. I don't know what the fuck is in it. Why you quizzing me, Collin?
I don't know. I'm just asking. It doesn't sound straight edge to me though. And I know a lot of straight edge guys.
No,
who work
it
out.
depends on no shit, dude. I know straight edge dudes that do steroids and still walk around feeling that they're straight edge as fuck, but they actively will shoot steroids into their ass cheek.
Edge Watch 2020.
No, man, we could start a website.
No,
so there is one.
I don't
give a fuck.
I don't want to start fights with my straight edge friends,
especially not the ones that are fucking taking steroids. They'll kill us. So there is a drawback of not having headphones. Although I don't know if it's a drawback. We don't know if our phones are making this thing do the thing. The beep, 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 beep.
Oh, yeah.
We don't know that. So for the first, 5 minutes, my shit was sitting right next to it.
Oh, no.
So if y'all were getting space noises.
Tick, 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 tick.
Was I?
I lost my train of thought.
Okay. Well.
You look like you got something pulled up.
Yeah, I do because I unlocked my phone. It was the last thing I commented on.
I see what it is, and I saw your comment.
Dude, that's a picture of Red Hot Chili Peppers. And it's
Chad Smith.
I know. It's from Ultimate Guitar. The dude on the left, Chad, looks so much like Will Ferrell to me in this photo. Like when I was just scrolling, I definitely thought
when I saw your comment, I was like, yeah, I thought the exact same. I feel like as both of those guys get older, they are looking more and more like each other as it is. I mean, they've always made a joke about that. They had like a drum off or some shit.
They did.
Like on Jimmy Fallon or something. And it was pretty funny because
I just learned that today. So when I commented on Travis's post, he commented back with that.
Oh, yeah, you should watch it.
I'm like, oh, fuck. I had no idea.
Yeah.
I really didn't know that was like a thing, but definitely thought it was Will Ferrell.
So funny. He looks so much like him.
I'm going to go all the way back to the beginning just for a half a second because I can't glaze over the fact that this is episode 36 and we were talking about the 2 Chainz reference. That whole 2 Chainz reference thing, that started with my homeboy Kylo. When that 2 Chainz record came out, we went back and forth and would just say that shit all the time, and we would trick others, especially old coworkers. We'd trick them into asking the question. We'd just look at them and be like, "Hey, 36," and people were like, "What?" I'm like 36, and they'd be like, "What's 36?" I'm like, "Somebody else is in a break." We would do that, and they'd be like, "What?" And I'm like, "Nothing." Well, this has been going on since that record came out. I don't even know when it came out, but it's been going on a solid 7, 8, 9 years. To the point where every time we're out in the wild and we see a 36, whether it's a number on a jersey or anything, we'll snap a photo and send it to each other. It's been going on for fucking so many years though. I can't imagine myself not doing it.
It's hilarious.
It's crazy. So shout out to Kylo.
That is hilarious.
I don't know if you went through and put anything on.
I didn't.
Do you remember we intentionally killed all the topics last time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought about that today.
I was like, every time I think about something, I should have put it on there, but I haven't felt so great, so I didn't jump out and put it on there. But I did throw a couple things on there. The track Carnivore by Body Count.
Oh, yeah. My God.
It's okay, so fans of Body Count probably going to hate it.
I've already seen people I know who are Body Count fans say they are into it.
Really?
Yeah.
I definitely, because I love it. And not that I don't like Body Count, but it's a vast difference from Body Count.
I mean, the last Body Count record that came out 2 years ago was pretty cool. Hate breed hardcore with rapping. But my God, like somebody's been listening to like Knock Loose and
oh yeah,
and
well, you know who their
like
producer was on this, right?
Was it Will Putney? Mm-hmm. Oh, well, there it is.
Exactly. I mean, I think so. I'd have to fact check.
But it's like they're tuned down probably 3 steps lower than they were before.
Oh yeah,
it's so heavy.
This is the benefit. I can fact check it right now. Oh yeah, absolutely, was him.
That makes makes total sense.
It does make sense. The other thing I put on there is just a quick recap, because we always go through our recap, and this is a story from this week. Is so frustrating. So my wife bought a treadmill, right? Spent thousands of dollars on a treadmill, which is fine, because like I do the same thing for music equipment. That's my vice, that's her vice, right? And I'll get to use that treadmill too. Anyway, so she bought it, and the tracking company has to like call you and give you your time frame when they'll be there and all this bullshit, right? So we've been waiting a week or two on this, and they call and they go, we can be there whatever day. She picked Saturday because we'll be there. Cool. 3 to 7 is the time frame. Now, it's a stupid fucking time frame, because it's your day off. It's peak, or I should say prime hours for doing anything, especially with kids, 1 under 3, right? So I get a couple things done in the morning, and then I'm there from 3 until 7:45, and they do not come. They do not call. They don't do shit. Just nothing. Just completely ghosted us. So I was pissed off. She called like 7:15 or 7:30. They were closed with a front end message up. You call, you just get a message saying they're closed. They're not open on Sunday. I don't know what they're expecting, but I want to go like, Karen, let me speak to your manager on them. I don't know what it's worth to them to not have to come back out and remove that fucking treadmill from my house, but if it gets there and they don't do something, I'm just gonna rage on them. Like, I don't know what else to do. And then we found like all these things online where like similar people having similar issues, and like there are people that didn't even get their treadmill delivered, and they were pissed, called, got in an argument with this customer service, and had them said, fuck it, I don't want it, cancel the order, got charged a $300 restocking fee, and the treadmill never made it to their house.
What?
And they never got it back either. I'm like, y'all don't know how to argue right. I mean, it took me like 6 years of arguing with Time Warner, but I got the shit remedied. Did I ever tell you that story?
No.
Yeah, I did. I feel like it was a real early podcast.
Oh. They
put something on my credit. It was like their mistake.
I vaguely remember.
Yeah. Well, it took me like 7 years of arguing, but I got that remedied. I feel like I could do the same. So what'd you do this week? Besides listen to Carnivore?
Honestly, this week, it was pretty much hunkered down all week. It's just life is crazy and work is crazy and stuff like that. And it's December, it's just like there's just something all the time. And so really tried to kind of go dark this week. Friday night though, went out with my best friend, and we went to a couple bars. I went to the I wanted to check out the Columbus Brewing Company tap room, the new tap room out on the west side, and it's like kind of by McKinley and kind of like where they're building that new jail on, so yeah, I went to the CBC tap room. That was cool. Then there's this other cool brewery right around the corner there, actually, called Sideswipe. Yeah, and I went there for a while too. So that was cool. And then
everyone I've ever asked about Sideswipe, not a single person has ever heard of it.
Yeah, it's real low key.
Yeah,
really, really good beer.
I found them off of a fucking Groupon.
Yeah,
like, because we used to live pretty close to there, so I found a Groupon.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, and it was like get a growler, a souvenir glass, and like a couple pours for 2 people, and it was like $22.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, we'll do that. So we did that. We actually still have the growlers up on the cabinets, typical like white people shit. A growler up on the cabinet. Tell me it's not that.
Yeah, so I have not done much this week. It was also like last week I changed the starter on my Jeep. Like the week before, I like changed the starter on my Jeep, tore apart my mother-in-law's car door to fix the handle. You know, like did all this really accomplished stuff last week, and then like this past week is just like, ugh.
I'm gonna ask like a total dad question, but are you finished shopping for Christmas?
No.
No.
For the children, yes, we're done.
Oh, for who?
Huh?
Wife?
But not for my wife. So I'm not a, you know, Sierra knows when she sends me ideas, you know, sends, ooh, how about this? And he sends a link. You know, I'm not a huge, when it comes to like shopping for gifts, I'm not a huge ordering online person. Because I just like the act of going to a store and like looking for something that I think was good for my wife and buying it.
Yeah.
So I always tell her like, yeah, you send me all the links and yeah, you might get some of that. It might be more just like guardrails for me when I'm trying to decide on something. So this is typical.
That's how I used to be. Like when I first started just like having money that was I could just use for shopping and shit like that. I remember I would just go to the store and I would have this short list of people I was shopping for and get all those people something. And then if I saw something that reminded me of someone else, well, then they got a present too. So like everybody potentially could get a present or nobody's asked to get a present. It was just if I went out and saw something. Nowadays, dude, my wife's a online shopaholic. Like she shops. It's really hard to just buy her something because she just buys herself whatever the fuck she wants. So it's different. Although nowadays it's like... It's like she'll send me something very direct, like, hey, I want this for Christmas. I'm like, got it. It must be something that you just kind of want, or else you'd buy that shit yourself right now. But that's fine. So
doesn't that undermine any gift that you give then if you're getting the scraps?
I don't know, man. I always manage to think of
she wants.
I always manage to think of one or two things that either she would never buy herself, but I know that she'll at some point utilize. I mean, it could be anything. I know her well enough to be like, I'm going to get this. She'll utilize it someday, right? Mm-hmm. So I got something in mind this year too. So she's going to listen to this because she listens to all this shit. But I got something for that ass. Well, I mean...
I'm kidding.
No. I tried to refrain earlier from when you were like, yeah, just hit the back of my throat wrong. And... I was gagging, and then I went outside and had the hot spits, and I'm just over here like, that's what she said. That's what she said. That's what she said.
Did I ever tell the story on here about the when I mowed the lawn with the beer?
Mowed the lawn with the beer?
Just it's a story that involves a beer and mowing the lawn.
No, but I love lawn mow stories, so go for it.
At our old place, the backyard, like the lot was like really long. Okay, so I would just start in the front yard, mow one side of the front yard, go around the back, do the whole back, and then come out on the other side of the front yard. Okay, so I'm mowing the lawn out front. I got a beer, and I'm drinking it sitting down on the patio, and then there's probably, I don't know, a third of it left. I set it down, and by that point, I'm like, I around the side of the house. I mow back there. I'm back there for 45 minutes, and come around the front, and I'm beat to hell. You know, I'm just so tired. Put the lawnmower back in the garage, and then I'm like, oh, I had a beer still. So I go, and I was like, yeah, there's still a third left, and I just went like that, and I just chugged it. Sierra still smoked at the time, and while I was out back, she had put a cigarette out in that. And I didn't see it, and I just tilted straight back, and that thing hit the back of my throat. That's what you made me think of that. That jogged that memory, because it literally did, and I was just like, ugh! I mean, it was like, it tasted like an ashtray. I mean, it was so gross. It was so gross.
So I used to go to quite a bit of like campus parties, not with campus people, but it was people who lived around campus. You know, there's always parties going on.
Yeah.
And I'd venture to say that happened to me upwards of 5 times, where just like in a matter of moments of having your drink set down, somebody's fucking girl, like girlfriend, put their cigarette or clove or some other fucking thing out in my drink, and I would go to take a drink. Like, and there was also probably a handful of times where I would like go to drink and like catch it beforehand. Like, whoa, what's all this shit? It's fucking disgusting. Can I just stop for a second? Like, as an adult, these are the types of text messages you get, right? Hey, do any of you guys need new ceiling fans? And then it's like this whole, look at this text message, how long it is.
Holy crap.
It's all this conversation about 25% off ceiling fans. That's what y'all got to look forward to as adults, man. Sorry if I interrupted you.
No, that's hilarious. Do you need ceiling fans? That's so random.
It is, but I don't want to go into detail, but the person it came from works for a lighting company. And it makes sense. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's just trying to hook a brother up, but I wonder if can I extend this deal to the listeners? Can we get sponsored and maybe get a promo code? Is that how this works?
Yeah. When do we start reading ads?
That is the way to monetize a podcast, but unfortunately, I don't think we're there yet.
The funny thing is, some podcasts, you know, they like do it at the beginning. Sometimes they'll do it at the end or whatever.
Some of them do it right in the middle.
Bill Burr's podcast, they give him copy to read.
Yeah.
And he reads it and he makes fun of it the whole time.
Well,
so he'll be like advertising stuff, but then he'll like go off on tangents in the middle of reading the ad and then come back to it. And dude, it is so funny. He makes them, it's just like part of the podcast. Like it's like totally fine to listen to him.
And I truly feel like that's how it should be. All the good people that do podcasts or that do YouTube ads or anything like that, like the reason I like them is because they have a specific type of person that watches them, right? And they can seamlessly incorporate an ad to where, like, I'll watch it because I don't even feel that it's an ad. It's either comical or it's presented in a way that's like them. There's a YouTube guy named Mark Rober. Are you familiar with him?
Mm-mm.
So I'm trying to think. Like, he had a few very famous YouTube videos. He used to work for NASA.
Okay.
And he is an amazing engineer, right? And he left NASA. Which, by the way, he worked for, like, he put shit on the moon and shit like that and Mars. Like, some of the shit that he did is up there directly. But anyway, he left and he does YouTube videos. He does somewhere between, like, 12 and 15 a year. That's it. They're very well produced, very well thought out. And as you can imagine, there's a ton of capabilities behind his because of his knowledge and reach, right? Most recently, he had a really famous one where he did, like, package thief versus a glitter bomb.
Okay.
And what he did was, like, he basically used 4 cell phones with wide-angle cameras tilted at a specific manner inside this box, one-way tape that could see out, and he set this package bomb, essentially, that was, like, through GPS and the, what's it called, accelerometer or whatever, the thing that detects movement in the phone. Between all that, it could tell when the package was moved. It starts recording. When you take the lid off, and usually it's like, it could be, you know, expensive headphones or like an Apple HomePod or whatever the fuck is going on. You take it off, and this cup that he designed would spin micro glitter all over the place, say some shit, and then all of a sudden, beep, 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 start shooting fart spray.
Holy crap.
On top of that, all the phones have LTE plans, so they immediately start streaming. So he gets all the video. He can track the package. Every 30 seconds, the fart spray does again, so people just want to throw it out and get rid of it. He uses a GPS to go get it back, so he's like never lost one either.
Hilarious.
So he just did version 2 of that, like 2 days ago. Equally hilarious. He improved upon the whole device and everything. And at the end of it, he talks about, this video was sponsored by Bose, and he talks about their noise-canceling headphones. And then, like, normally I would just skip or, you know, go or fast forward, turn it off, something like that. But he's like, and I'm going to tell you how the noise-canceling actually works. And I was like,
nice.
Go on. And so he did a demo of how noise-canceling works. And then like him actually taking a phone call through noise canceling headphones while he's holding a leaf blower, like just crazy shit like that. And it's like because he incorporated that in his own way, I'll sit right through that fucking thing and watch it. The problem is that most ads pay through clicks, and I don't know about you, but I like, unless it's an accident, I like never click ads.
Yeah. It is funny how easy it is to make something an advertisement and still be entertaining. I mean, this is how we got here in the culture in the first place, is that ads became entertainment.
Oh yeah.
But it's like
big business around the Super Bowl.
On Disney Plus, there's a show called The Imagineering Story, and it's 6 episodes, weekly episodes, and it's about it's each episode's an hour long. It's a documentary series about like all the technology and stuff utilized in Disney theme parks, and also the story of Disneyland and like their expansion across the world. And it's basically like the story of that. But it's like you watch it and it is incredibly interesting. I mean, I watched all 6 episodes because it was incredibly interesting. But then I get done and it's like, I just watched a 6-hour ad for Disney World. Like, that's really all it is. It's like, come to our parks.
Have you ever been? Did we talk about that? Have you ever been to any of the Disneys?
Yeah, I've been to Disney World in Florida, I think 3 or 4 times maybe.
Oh, shit. So you did it with kids?
No. I have not. No. I went, last time I went, I was in high school.
Oh, shit. Well, yeah, when you said 3 or 4 times, I just assumed that a couple of them had to be with kids.
No. I went a couple times when I was like a little kid, and then I went a couple times when I was like in junior high or high school.
Yeah.
At the time, it was... one of the big new things they had was like the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids playground. So it was like you were like among the grass and stuff like that. Have you been to Disney World?
I haven't been to any of them. I haven't been to Disneyland, Disney World, nothing. I also don't really give a fuck about Disney. I don't like Harry Potter. I don't like... I don't know. I don't like any of the shit. Like, I don't feel like it's a place that I want to go.
Here's the deal, though, is, and that's kind of what this show is about how, like, you don't have to care about Disney, and you go, but it's just, everything is incredible. Like, all of the animatronics and everything. Yeah. Like, it is legitimately, like, super cool and super fun.
There's one cool thing, and I actually think it might have been, I think it was Dave that told me about this, that there's this whole, enamel pins. Mm-hmm. There's a whole enamel pin thing there where, like, if you go up to any, like, the Disney workers have tons of pins on, right? And if you go up to them, they can't say no. You can trade any of your pins for their pin, including, like, crazy rare ones that, like...
Weird.
Yeah, I could be full of shit. And it might not mean Dave that said that. I'm crediting Dave because it feels like a fact that would come from Dave. Yeah. I do. You know what? During this podcast, I'm gonna have to Google it just to see. But no, that's what I would like to do. I would like to go and I would like to see the shit. I just don't give a fuck about Disney. Like, I feel like everyone that I hear talk about going from a parent perspective is like, it's a nightmare.
I'm sure it's terrible. I can't imagine. I can't imagine what it's like taking kids to Disney World.
I don't like to take my kids to McDonald's.
Although they do, like, they I guess they make it like really crazy easy now. Like, you get like those like digital wrist passes and all that shit. And I don't know, it's crazy. It's wild.
Yeah, fuck it. I'm going to Cedar Point. That's where I'm going.
It's also like, there's 2 types of amusement park people. It's like people who want to go to a theme park and enjoy it and walk around and see cool shit. There's some people who just want to go to America's Roller Coaster. You know what I mean? And
well, that just happened maybe like 6 or 7 years ago.
What?
That I started riding roller coasters.
Really?
I was okay. First of all, I'm actively still terrified of heights. Anything over like 10 feet. If I get to the top of a ladder to change a fucking light bulb, like, I'm weird. I'm gripping onto things like in any way that I can. Like, I got my hand on the ceiling and like I do weird shit like that. I'm terrified of heights. So roller coasters, even though I rode a couple when I was like young, it was before I had an active concept of death. Mm-hmm. once I got that, I was like, who the fuck does this? Like, nobody does this. Nobody puts themselves in that position. We were coming back from the Cleveland tattoo convention one year, and we had just spent a bunch of time at the casino, and Dave was like balling. And he was like, one more roll, I'm putting all this money. He wanted to like double his money. He's like, I'm putting it all on like red or whatever.
Oh, I thought you meant he was crying.
No.
He's bawling.
No,
I'm kidding.
Without the W.
That was a joke.
He was up like crazy at the casino, and he basically said, I'm putting everything, the entire, like, I'm all in on like red, you know? And so he does it, he wins, and he was like, that's it, we're all going to Cedar Point. So we all went to Cedar Point, and he paid for like 12 people to get in.
Jeez.
3 or 4 cars, like, paid for their, you know, parking and shit like that. And I'm just like walking around, people were like riding rides and shit, and I'm like, man, fuck this shit. And then there's a tattoo artist that was with us, her name's Alex Strangler.
Okay. And
she was like, it's really fine, and if you're gonna start like riding roller coaster, you should start with this one. And it was Gatekeeper, like right up front. It was one of their newer ones, maybe.
Okay.
I think it was new that year.
Yeah, I haven't been in probably 5, 6 years.
Yeah.
So it might be. Right.
Yeah. So I went. It was super smooth. Dude, it gave me the bug. Then I was like, I'm riding everything. So I rode all the shit, with the exception of a couple like maniac rides, like Top Thrill Dragster and shit like that. And then went back.
I've done that. That's fun.
I have now. Went back and then did everything. Yeah. I did all the shit. Dude, even Hayden's rode the dragster.
Nice.
I have a video of him riding it.
The thing's fun. Also, I like how... what's that?
From what I remember, it's fun.
I like that... the Magnum, you know, is still super fun. You know, it's funny how like that was always like, as a kid, it was like the Cedar Point has the Magnum.
Yeah.
You know, like that was the roller coaster because it was the fastest and tallest in the world at one point.
It's also janky as fuck nowadays.
But it is funny though because it is still a really enjoyable, thrilling ride. It's not like crazy like Millennium Force or anything, but like at the end of the night, but nobody cares about it anymore. So like at the end of the night, you can get off and basically just walk right around and get right back on.
Yeah.
You know, no problem. It's wild though. One thing that scares me about Cedar Point, and not scares me, but I don't know why I said scares me, but you know, the Millennium Force and the Magnum are both like along the edge of the park.
Yeah.
And if you're riding those at night, man, you go up to the top, you look over here, and you got the park, and you look over, and it's just black.
Yeah.
It's terrifying. It makes it so much, like, scarier to me. That's why, you know. But, yeah, it's crazy. Like, it's just black over Lake Erie, man.
You ride the Wicked Twister?
Yeah, that's fun. That's real fun.
I think that's fun as shit. My wife and kid don't really like that one too much. I like it. It's like terrifyingly fun. Like you get up to the top, and after like the second or third, when you're all the way at the top, and you just fucking feel that thing bowing, I'm like, man, some Final Destination shit's about to happen to me.
They check that shit every day. They have to.
I don't give a fuck. You know how many people ride that thing a day? You know how many times in one time of going, I probably saw the dragster break down 7 times.
Yeah.
Especially in the summer. It's like, oh, the brake's overheated or something like that.
Yeah.
I saw it one time get all the way up to the top and get stuck on the crest. Like,
wow.
Balanced directly over. I was like, if I was up there, I would have literally shit myself. That's like one thing I don't fuck with. Like, I have to be psyched up to even go.
Yeah.
You get me up there and some shit like that happens.
I mean, they tell you, you know, sometimes, you know, this
rolls back down.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't make it because it's going on pneumatic power. You know what I mean? But then that is crazy. Like that math worked out perfectly.
I saw that fucking thing get stuck, and I was like, I'm not riding that again.
It is funny though. That made me think of. So when I was a kid, we always went to Six Flags Great America, north of Chicago, and because my mom's whole side of the family's from right around there, so we would go there every summer. And I remember, you know, my stepdad started like making me ride roller. He just was like, no, he's like, don't be scared. It's fun. We're gonna. And I was really scared. Yeah. And he basically just made me do it when I was like 8, 9 years old. But there's one that I ended up really liking, but like was terrified of at first. It's called the Demon, and it's just like a classic, couple loops and a couple twists, but it's, you know, for a kid it was like crazy. A couple of years ago. Maybe it was more like 5 or 6 years ago. That shit got stuck upside down in the loop.
Oh man.
Yeah, dude. And I can't imagine what, like, they were up there for like 3 hours or something like that.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You ever watch any of those videos on YouTube that's like people like rolling around and shit? Like, I don't even know how to explain it. They're on like the edge of buildings or like climbing up cranes.
Dude, that shit.
It's always Russians.
It makes my stomach sink watching that stuff.
It gives me the most anxiety. Like, there is nothing that I can watch that gives me more anxiety than those videos, but I can't turn them off either.
And I think that it seems like they always like take like really snarky selfies, you know?
Oh yeah.
And it's like
they use a selfie stick to get
that's
further.
gonna be the reason why one of these people dies. Not because they're daredevils, but because they're fucking
somebody did
Instagramming it.
Taking a selfie. Somebody did die. I don't remember who or what, but I'm pretty sure it was a YouTuber that died. But dude, it's always Russians. They're wild as fuck. And they'll be up there like on like hanging off the edge of a crane that's hanging off the edge of a skyscraper. They're like doing pull-ups. I'm like, dog, I got like 3 of those in me. I don't know how this guy does it. But.
There was a video a couple years ago of like, it was a guy who does maintenance on the light beacons on the top of like the signal towers and stuff, like the ones that have wires hanging off the edges to balance them. And those are like, some of those things are like the world's tallest structures, you know, because they're supported, you know what I mean? And I remember watching this video, this guy, and he just, half the video is him climbing. It's just him climbing, and you just keep like, it just keeps going. It just keeps going. I just can't imagine. I'm not even like terrible with heights, but Jesus, man, like,
yeah, it makes me super squeamish. The same videos, there's like, you remember when those hoverboards were really popular? Mm-hmm. He's like riding the hoverboard just right along the edge of a building, and then he'll stop on the corner and like do some twirls and shit, and I'm like, that adds a whole nother element.
So I've seen enough YouTube videos to know that you make one wrong move with that thing, it does whatever the fuck it wants to do.
Well, not only that, I mean, I assume none of them are gonna fall because the videos got uploaded, right? General assumption.
Yeah.
The one that falls is gonna end up on the dark web somewhere.
Yeah. But yeah, that made me think when you said cranes. I was telling a coworker this story a couple of years ago at work. I used to sit by the window, and we're 6 floors up downtown, and there was 2 buildings being built at the same time across the street, and there's 2 cranes, like real deal cranes, you know, with like they fasten to the ground, it has the counterweight and all that stuff. One day I was like looking at what they were doing. I was like, what is this guy doing? And then I see one guy's on the ground with a Kroger bag with Subway in it. Crane comes down, hooks it on there. Crane goes up. The crane operator turns it, goes over. Crane operator comes out of the other crane, walks out, walks a little ways down, and he's like, and catches his lunch.
What the
They
fuck?
used 2 giant cranes to deliver Subway from the ground to one of the guys in the crane. It's like pretty good.
The first Uber Eats.
Pretty good work, guys. Really good use of resources too.
Sometimes I get stuck on this YouTube like hole of watching people do impressive shit like that, like, because you know somewhere there's a video of them doing that. Maybe not them, but somebody doing that or using cranes for like weird things. I like watching the videos of people like getting like loading and unloading a backhoe, but in like a weird way. Like, I've seen people do crazy shit where like they'll take the backhoe and swing it around this way and like push up this way and yada yada, and I don't know. People that can drive all those impress the shit out of me. I can barely drive a Bobcat.
Yeah,
which is just a couple of sticks, really.
I tried a Bobcat and it's hard.
Yeah. Yeah. Only because you got the fucking, the little bucket thing on the front.
I had a story. This had nothing to do with anything, but I did have something I didn't put on the board. I'm trying to remember what it was. I remember. This is so funny. So speaking of YouTube, actually, I watched the Game Awards the other night. And
Game Awards?
Yeah, like it's video game awards. And I guess it's like, I mean,
it's huge.
It was a huge, like, Green Day played, you know, like, and it was like black tie event and stuff like that. And it's, you know, just I was watching it on Twitch, you know, because I wouldn't normally watch something like that. And I watched, most of the time I had it on mute while I was watching something else because I watched about 15 minutes of it. And I was just like, I'm pretty nerdy, but this is a whole different level.
Yeah.
Anyway, the reason I was watching was one of my close friends. He is a composer, and he did the soundtrack for a game that was nominated for like 3 awards. And what are you finding? Oh, I thought you were Googling something to do with this.
I was Googling something, but it's because I wanted to check my fact first.
So my composer friend, the video game was nominated for like 2 or 3 awards, and so he was there. Unfortunately, they didn't win any of them, which sucks because it's a really good soundtrack. Yeah. It's a really, really fucking good game. Anyway, the artist Grimes was playing, and she's Elon Musk's girlfriend. So Elon Musk was there, and they at one point he's like they said something like, "Oh, Elon Musk is here," and he like stood up, and the camera panned past him, and I was like, and I like immediately texted Andrew. And all caps, I was like, Andrew, are you sitting directly behind Elon Musk?
No
he
shit.
He was. I got a picture. I'll show you a picture.
Did he know?
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy. What I was trying to Google is that group FaZe Clan or whatever.
Yeah.
So Offset from Migos is like part of FaZe Clan. And he was talking about one day about how like video games and all that whole industry is going to be bigger than any other sport. And so I had like looked into that, and it's totally fucking true. It will be like professional gaming will be bigger than any other sport.
Oh, it's crazy.
It'll be bigger than fucking football.
This picture.
That's your boy?
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
And the artist, some other musical artist like Churches or something like that.
I love Churches.
She was right behind him.
Love Churches. Did you ever listen to like Portishead?
Yeah.
So that was like early on. That was the music that kind of got me into that. Like, I don't even know what you classify that music. Just fucking chill.
Portishead?
Yeah.
Trip hop.
Yeah, just like chill shit like that. Yeah. And so one day I went on a mission. Years later, went on a mission to find some other just electronic artists with girl singers, and came across Churches. And dude, got real into Churches.
She opened the show, and she performed with like a video game orchestra or something like that. Or I don't know, the Game Awards orchestra. And it was like this huge, it sounded like cinematic game music.
Yeah.
But it wasn't my thing. But no, anyway, that was just cool. Hilarious.
No,
Happened
awesome.
to be watching this video game thing, and my dude's sitting behind Elon Musk. It was
shit. I'm going to be single dadding it for the next couple of days.
Oh, yeah?
My wife is traveling on business, and it's the fucking worst time. Tomorrow, I'm going to be at some research firm up north.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I have to get the kid, get the baby to daycare, which is like over off of Polaris, right? I have to get to this research firm, and then at the end of the day, I got to go back there, get home. I need to be the one that does like dinner and all that stuff. And I'm kind of pouting in a way, but like single parents just go through this shit all day, dude. Every day. And every time I have to do some single dad shit, I have a little bit more respect for my mom, who raised 3 hellions, just 3 boys by herself. It's fucking crazy. I can't imagine.
Yeah, the same. You know, my mom with 4 of us, and with pretty big age disparity between the two sets of 2, and so yeah, she had to do that for a long fucking time too. Yeah, shout out to single moms. Shout out, Jesus, to single moms and dads. Shout out to single dads, single parents. I said single moms because that was like the experience that I had. But I'm over here complaining about being a single dad for one fucking day. I'm a biatch. We're running low on content, Collin. There was something else I had too. My head's not all here today. Yeah, because you're hungover, drinking bubbly. I just have a sinus infection. I don't even know if you can hear it.
Do I sound?
You sound like you got something. Not bad.
No, it's just like for the past week I've, I'm not going to spare any details here, but for the past week I've woke up and honked out some fucking green and blood and shit like that from my nostrils. So I'm like, oh, I feel better. And I always feel better for like some hours. Today I couldn't breathe for hours upon hours. And have you ever used nasal spray?
Yeah.
The first time I used nasal spray was like a few years ago. And it blew my fucking mind. Because I've gone my whole life just having a stopped up nose. Like when I had it, I'm like, oh, this sucks. I have a stopped up nose. Like, and my mom would be like, go turn on hot water and get by the steam. And I'm like, what's that going to do? And I'd always try. Dude, I remember the exact moment that I tried nasal spray for the first time. I know it's a weird fucking thing to remember, but I'm sitting in the Target parking lot. The one at Graceland. Opening that fucking thing up. Pop that shit in there. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, this is stupid. This shit don't even work. And so I take off driving and I'm mad that I just spent, $12 on like no drip Afrin nasal spray or whatever. And dude, my head has been like pounding and killing me for days and I'm angry and it doesn't work. And all of a sudden I hear, and I was like, and I could breathe. It was it was like my nasal passages, they were unswelling or deswelling, whatever it is, just enough to start to let air through. And it just started, it was my nose making that noise.
Wild.
And then I could breathe. And I was like, nasal spray, I'll never let you go.
Have you ever used a neti pot?
No, I'm scared to death of drowning.
I tried once, and it felt like I was waterboarding myself. I mean, I don't. People swear by it. I don't know how. I don't know how. Maybe I'm just doing it wrong, but I literally, it felt like I was drowning.
Well, you can't breathe during it.
Correct.
Or else you will be drowning.
Yes.
So, was it like? Did you just use? What do you use? Is it saline or something? Like, what the fuck do you put through it?
It's like it's you can do it with just water.
Okay.
Because all it is just pushing liquid through your passages and out the other side.
Yeah.
Ugh, gross.
It weirds me out.
I remembered the other thing I was going to say. This is not it is a trivial thing. Somebody commented, I don't remember who, that I sound like Seth Rogen. Mm-hmm. It hurts me.
Why?
I don't know. I feel like I know a lot of people who think Seth Rogen sounds really annoying.
Oh, if you think about it, Dave sounds like Seth Rogen. Dave does. It's not the first time. It's like there's a specific type of tonal quality. It's like a manly voice, but then there's a sharpness to Seth Rogen. Mm-hmm. And I don't hear it much with you, unless you're like, unless somebody wound you up and set you off into like old man Simula mode.
Yeah.
Then I can kind of hear like a little bit.
Interesting. Well, anyway, that's weird. I've never heard that one before.
Really?
Ever. Seth Rogen.
Actually, that was really good. That wasn't bad. Like, maybe my ears are clogged, but that's definitely his little, like, like, he has the same weird monotone, low, growly laugh thing, but he's always high. I don't get that I sound like anybody, but there are two people in the, course of my life, starting with the time I was like, I don't know, maybe 18, that I would hear that I look like in the face or some other thing. And I'm not even going to tell you who they are because I don't necessarily see either one of them. And they're two people that, like, my wife was like, are you fucking kidding? No, you don't, right? Like, so I realized that, fuck it, I'll just say it. One was Justin Timberlake when I was a kid. For some reason in my, like, nose, mouth area, people thought I looked like Justin Timberlake.
You have, like, ramen hair?
No, I got no hair.
Uncooked ramen hair?
Yeah, I did have that for a little bit. Back in the day. I had that fucking, that Eminem, bleach your shit out with that shit from Sally's. And the other one is every time Adam Levine would be on The Voice, every time The Voice would air.
Weird.
People would be like, it was all demographics, all fucking areas, all age ranges, everything. They'd be like, you remind me so much, or Adam reminds me so much. I think it was his, like, speech and mannerisms or something.
Yeah.
Because it's not the face. Like if I was like, if I looked like Adam Levine, I'd not be doing a podcast in a weird band room. Like I'd be doing something else.
I always got, when I was a little, like 10 years ago, 12 years ago, it was always Andy Dick for some reason. That always really bothered me because it's like, man, of all people.
Yeah.
But now I really only get Fred Armisen. I don't
even know who the fuck that is.
He's on SNL, Portlandia.
I am so not hip.
Anyway, you have a Google device in your hand.
It's actually not. It's a Samsung, but you know. Say his name again. Fred
Armisen.
Mm-hmm. All right. Look this dude up.
I get compared to him a lot.
All right. You want me to tell you why? One, he kind of, y'all have similar haircuts.
Yeah.
The kind of crew, you know, parted. You guys both have, I'm just going to call them hip glasses.
Yeah.
Because his are clearly like solid frames all the way around, but you can look at them and those aren't like run-of-the-mill glasses. Those are I'm fucking cool glasses. You have I'm fucking cool glasses on, Collin.
I'm fucking cool glasses that is broken.
Oh, shit. And the second thing, I'm thinking it's maybe the chin-mouth area.
Yeah, square face.
Yeah, it's the chin-mouth area. I don't see it much other than that. This motherfucker looked like Tom Hanks right there. Doesn't he? Am I tripping?
But yes, but this one, like, people see that and see me.
No, dog. I see it more in... So I Googled Fred Armisen, and there's a series of photos that came up. If I had to say any of them, it's the third photo.
Yep.
I can kind of see it there.
This made me feel good, though, the other day, was there's a show, another show on Disney Plus. Oh, man, this is one big advertisement for Disney today.
You're killing it.
Called The World According to Jeff Goldblum.
Okay.
And he just turns up the Jeff Goldblum, the quirkiness. Right. And he basically, every episode, he just explores something that has a culture around it. Okay. So like, or that has a history. So like, one episode is about denim. One episode is about sneakers. One's about barbecue. You know, like it's like random things. Like he like just focuses on something, and it's cool and interesting and weird and quirky. But like, I always talk about how Jeff Goldblum is like my style goal for when I'm in my 60s, because he's like 67.
Damn.
And he looks great. Looks similar haircut to mine, but like gray, and similar glasses to mine, stuff like that. And I was like, man, I hope I age like that. I hope I look like him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he looks cool and stuff like that. And the other day, Beatrice saw the little screenshot, and she goes, that looks like Daddy if he was older. And I was like, yes.
I'm on the right track.
Just trying to be that silver fox, you know?
I'm just trying. You know what? I haven't had hair. Since I started shaving my head, it's been like, I don't know, probably at least 7, 8, 9 years. Let me think. What? Nah, it's probably been closer to 10 years. And somebody asked me the other day, they were like, at what point did you start shaving your head? And I said, at the point that I just got tired of fucking not really having much hair to get haircut all the time, like to have a haircut done on all the time. And they were like, do you ever just like want to go have hair again? I'm like, you know, a couple years in, I might have said yeah. Nowadays, not a fucking chance. Like my entire life is like waking up early, not having to do any hair. If I do shower, it's just like some soap on the dome, right? Like I've just gotten so used to not having hair that I actually wish I could do something to stop ever having to shave it again. I'm sure there's something I could do.
You just like every couple weeks just use Nair.
I feel like I'm scared of shit like that.
One time I had a youth group leader in high school, and he was talking about like pranks they did in college.
Oh shit! I see where this is going.
And at one party, the dude passed out, and they filled a bathtub with Nair, and they just put him in it.
Shut the fuck up!
All of his hair on his body was gone.
Oh, even those little hairs you take for granted in your butt.
Oh my
so
God.
Wild.
So funny.
We know some assholes. I know some assholes that we used to go to parties at this person's house, another kind of campus area. And at one of the parties, dude, like, he upper decked the toilet, so he like shits in the top of the toilet. And I'm pretty sure that they did something similar with their shampoo. Can you imagine if, like, you're just shampooing as normal, you got your swab out or your whatever, and then all of a sudden you're like pulling chunks of hair out? Dude, that's enough to kill somebody. Do you need to answer that?
It's a school district. It's probably.
Oh, what do you got?
Join us for the parent involvement fair or whatever the fuck.
You don't do that shit?
Dude, I get 3 to 4 robocalls from the school district every day. I can't, like, it's gotta cost something.
Well, so I saw a thing on robocalls the other day. Do you have the service on yours where it's like if you get a call that's reported or it might be telemarketer or spam, it actually says spam call or telemarketer?
Yep.
So since they started doing that, robocalls have actually spiked.
Huh.
And the reason is because as we get smarter to block them, they're like, well, fuck it. If we're going to make money, we need to do 4 times the calls. So they've actually started doing way more calls, and we just haven't quite caught up to their dramatic increase in calls to be able to do that. But yeah, dude, I mean, they only got to get, a certain type of person, and it's crazy because there's so much publicity around that. It makes people skeptical of fucking everything. And I always use my mom as like a baseline for anything technology related. Like she's like the extreme this way, right? So an example is she'll say something like, what the fuck did she say the other day? She said, she was talking about Facebook, and she's like, I take these friend requests off there and they just keep coming back. It's probably fraud. They're probably trying to scam me into something. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And so what I figured out she was doing was she has like, like on a friend request page, you have the ones that have actually requested you, which you can decline. And then there's people you may know. Dog, she was spending like an hour. She's like, there's hundreds of them. She would spend hours going through people you may know and saying no, hide, thinking that they were friending her.
Oh my God. So, and then it's like, no, this thing is literally built to never stop doing that.
That's what I said. I had to explain it. I said, you'll notice a difference in button. Like one of them is like decline or something, and one of them is hide. I'm like, it's different because she says, well, why does it think I know them? I'm like, well, Mom, it says you have 27 friends in common with them. Like, there's a pretty good chance you know this person. And I said, do you know them? She goes, well, yeah, but I don't want them on my Facebook. And I'm like, well, then it did its job correctly. You're just misunderstanding the purpose of this. But that's just me ranting about my mom. But everything else she thinks is a fucking scam. She thinks everything is fraud. She won't answer a telemarketer call, even to tell them not to call again. Like, she's like, they'll probably hack my line. I'm like, oh my God. Like, the media has scared you into being a digital recluse. It's crazy. I know your dad's very proficient. Is your mom, is she proficient with technology?
Yeah. She's not like tech focused, but she is proficient. Like,
does she like use Facebook and all that shit?
Oh yeah. She's active on IG.
Damn, that's crazy.
Sometimes every once in a while she'll like a tweet of mine.
Oh wow, so she's got the Twitter too.
Yeah.
Does she ever like any tweets from Heckin Cool Dads Twitter account?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to like them when there are none, but
nice. Nice. I was like,
where's he going with this?
I was like, where's he going with this?
Yeah.
I knew it was going to be something like that about how I've not done my job as our social media manager.
Really, I haven't either. Like, I've got this.
Part of me likes it just being organic, and if you know, you know.
That's true. That's kind of how I treat the Instagram. Like, I used to be I'd keep up with it, post regularly. I even like, I would strategically post. Like, it would always be like this, and then like a meme or like something when I didn't have anything. I tried to stay consistent with it. and then I just fucking fell off. We should focus more on that. Anybody out there got any fucking tips? Like, what are we supposed to be doing with our media that's social?
I'm told that it is all about just doesn't matter what you're doing.
As long as you're doing something.
It's creating content. Man, when I was watching those Game Awards the other night, they had like a category like best content creator, and it's like, this is the world we live in now. These are fucking YouTubers winning awards, and then they're like best esports player, and this kid gets on stage and he's like 14 or 16 or something like that, and he's like I want to thank all my fans, and it's like, what?
Yeah,
you're good at Madden, like.
I mean, if you think about the direction the world's going, it is a skill. I mean,
totally.
Did I talk about Hayden and his like retro video games the other day? I can't remember if this conversation came up. The dude is like addicted to what he calls retro games, and it's like games that weren't even around. Like they came years after I was a kid, and like he's like, retro games. Like he's got one of those mini PlayStation 1s.
Yeah.
And like we were playing, I think we talked about this, Cool Borders 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
We did talk about this.
Yeah, we did talk about this. He is so hype on what he keeps calling retro games, and I'm just like, man, I'm gonna whoop that ass. Like, let me see that controller. And then I get on there, and he just destroys me.
I know, man.
I'm like, how the fuck are you destroying me at a game that I've lived in the same world as this game for like half my life?
There's a game
or more.
There's a game for Xbox called Cuphead.
Oh my god, he loves that game.
And for one, it's an amazing game.
It's graphically, it's a throwback to those old like Popeye cartoons and shit.
It's so fun. And it's really hard in that kind of classic like run and gun Metroid type game.
Yeah.
And where it's all about timing. It's always like you've watched somebody's pattern and you know.
Yeah.
And Miles asked me if he could play it, and I was like, dude, it's really hard, man. These like games like old. This is like old school like games that I grew up with that were really hard.
Yeah.
And he's fucking so much better at the game than I am.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he's so good at it. He's way farther than I got.
Did you ever play video game, or I mean PC games or like computer games?
Yeah, a little bit.
Did you play any of like the Counter Strikes and shit like that? Like,
no.
Okay. Me either. I could never get the concept of, or not even the concept. I could never get the hang of using like the ASDF keys or whatever. Like,
yeah,
using those keys to like move around, and you use your mouse to like look different directions. Like, I got the concept more when I'm using like thumb joysticks. Hayden, I shit you not, I told him, I said, you can record if you use my computer to play. And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, you got to use the mouse. Like, these keys move you around. And he's like, dude, he got on there, and within 20 minutes was going around and killing people. Like, and I was just like, what the fuck? Like, I've never been able to get this concept. I've been using a computer 3 times as long as he's been alive, and I still cannot get the concept of doing that. And he just jumps on and does it. His last YouTube video he did was him downloading the free game from Epic Games.
Okay.
And it was him opening it and playing it for the first time. Had never played the game before, knew nothing about the game. And it's a video of him figuring the game out and playing and getting far as fuck. And I'm just like, what the fuck?
It's crazy.
Oh, and the game was like, it was real shitty. And so like, even though we have a controller, he couldn't use the controller. It wouldn't work. He had to just resort back to the ASDF keys. And he just jumped on and went. And I'm like, man.
Okay, you said ASDF.
What?
Because, like if you like, just scramble.
Yeah.
It's always like ASDF.
Oh, yeah.
Or FSA.
Lorem ipsum. If you're a fucking designer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've read those words.
Yeah.
There was a time, I probably couldn't do it now, but there was a time where if I just needed a line or two of lorem ipsum, I had the first 2 sentences memorized, and I would just type it instead of
really?
Copying and pasting from somewhere. That's how often I used it. But I haven't really done that in a while. And like the Adobe programs now, like if you just drag out a text field, it automatically fills it with lorem ipsum. So if you wanted to, but
I always wrote. I'd write, if it was like the blog page, and I'd go, this is where the blog go. There will be content here, and I'll copy and paste that like 100 times.
Yeah,
that was like always the way I did it.
My way of designing stuff. I'm always like, this is a big headline. This is a little headline.
Yeah.
This is a page divider. This is a paragraph. You know, and I just like
I do the same shit.
Yeah. Sometimes do jokes or.
I also wanted to do that because when I started, I would always build all the navigation first, and I wanted to test it when I'm clicking the right quote unquote content is showing up. Yeah. So I needed to see when I clicked on like pictures that it said pictures will show here. You know, I needed to see that. That was like my old school UAT testers.
When you said retro, that made me think of this. I've realized the other day. I mean, I've always known this, but to get historic plates for your car it has to be 25 years old. It's a vintage car. Okay,
that's it.
So you can get historical plates for a 1994 Ford Escort if you wanted to right now.
That's wild. And with those, you don't even have to renew the tags on those, do you?
Nope.
Oh shit!
But there's you can't drive them that often.
Yeah.
There's a limit to how much you can. I don't know what the limit is, but
how would they enforce that limit?
I don't know. Looking at your odometer.
Do I like pull up to a place and it's like, oh, time for my monthly Odo check?
Oh yeah. I guess you're right. Like they wouldn't be able to track it. They wouldn't know unless they pulled you over.
Oh, that'd be crazy. Can you imagine like you do that, save a few bucks, and like they have your shit on file, you know, 2018 it had this, they pull you over in 2019 and they're like, by the way, with your plates, what's on your odometer? And then you get a fucking additional ticket or something. That's some bullshit.
That would be hilarious. It's just wild to me. 25 years. That's 1994.
Yeah, my first car was an 84 Toyota Corolla. We talked about this.
Yeah, mine was an 84 Volvo.
Hell yeah. 84s unite. All right, you want to smash into some fucking trivial things that bother us and get out of here for the day?
Yeah. Let's see.
A little bit of music.
A little bit of music
to set us off.
I'm not used to doing this out of headphones. It still feels like an hour later or whatever, it feels weird still to me.
I agree.
But I don't hate it.
I don't hate it. I wanted to do it to make sure that we knew that we could do it, because with this whole like pod on location thing that I wouldn't mind starting to do more often. I want to get all of our kit together in that one bag over there, and I want it to be minimally impact. I don't want those. Look, for those of you out there that can actually see the video, these things are normally like in front of the mic. They're pop filters. They are mesh, and they just feel cheap. Dainty. Fragile.
That's a trivial thing that bothers me.
People that heat up fish in the microwave.
Oh man.
I'm okay with them because good on you for packing a lunch, using leftovers, being healthy, not eating out. But fuck you for fish in the microwave in an office building.
Yeah. I
will take you down.
Mine, I don't know that I have one, to be honest with you. I'm drawing a blank. I'll end it with this. This is not a trivial thing that bothers me, but this is a trivial thing where I caught a glitch in the Matrix, kind of like you did with your coffee cans.
Okay.
I use the Wendy's app a lot, and there's offers like and it's really good deals. And there was one
free 6-piece spicy.
There was one a couple weeks ago that was a free large fry with any purchase. I was like, dang, that's like $2. It's more fries than I normally get. And so I put that on there, and then I put my regular order in and did it. And instead of going in and getting it, I did it for the drive-through version just so I could. It was because my starter was going bad, and I wanted, if I was I wanted it. I didn't want it to get stuck at Wendy's or some shit. And for some reason, I've used it 4 times since then, and my order is still in the cart. So all I have to do is just hit my payment option and do it again. It hasn't cleared my cart, so it's got that offer. It thinks that I never got it. I've done it 4 times now.
Those offers are supposed to go away after one use, right? So,
well, the cart should be empty.
True, but I've used a specific offer in there before, and I only use the Wendy's app every couple weeks. Mm. I'll go back. And even though after I use the offer, it goes away, it comes back.
Nice.
I've gotten the free 6 spicies like at least 4 times.
Love those glitches.
Wendy's, keep up those glitches. I saw that you got a a digital product manager job open when I was looking around LinkedIn. I can fix those glitches for you.
No.
No. I'll add more glitches. I'm just kidding. No, I won't. Hire me. All right, episode 36. Somebody else in a brick. We're done.
Peace.